Hello YouTube, I'm bringing you a quick video here. So as most of you already know, especially if you follow me on Instagram, I've had a few problems, cosmetics, nothing mechanically, with my vehicle I purchased. Is a 2015 Mustang GT, and I'm just making this video just because I was watching a few YouTube videos, and I'll put them in the description below. You can check those out and go through the comments, read the comments, and it's simply due to the way the vehicle, the way it's painted, as well as some of the things not lining up. I've noticed a couple things on mine to the point to where I actually question the Carfax, and I do know that Carfax isn't 100% accurate. I do know they buy their information from dealers, from paint shoddy body shops, things like that, so, and insurance companies. So I do know it's not going to be 100%. The reason I'm doing this video also in my backyard is simply because out in front where the car is right now, it's too noisy, so I will be popping in some clips. So when I bought my vehicle, it had a small chip in the door handle on the driver's side. Not too big, but you did notice it. Kind of threw off the vehicle a little bit, but I already had plans to get that fixed. Not a big deal. So what? Go on. I would say in the first week of me having the vehicle, I used my same foam Canon blaster I've always used, the same power washer. Always turn it down. Always use a 40-degree nozzle. So, and I always try to stand back some. I try not to force it. So I've used it on all my cars, my wife's car, my old Mustang, friends' cars. Never had a problem with it. I actually did have one problem with it when it was on a car that I was already having paint pilling, and it did. And again, I think I was possibly getting too close to it. But that was the only time I've ever had a problem with it. So anyway, washing the car, come up on the side of it, on the passenger side, and I noticed the paint is just still stuck to the vehicle but flapping. And so at that moment, I get a little closer look, and I can see that it was the paint has come off in two different spots, probably about the size of a nickel. So I'm like, what the heck? I checked my power washer settings, make sure I didn't actually get it to 45 degrees or 0 degrees. Everything's still the same. Then I go and check any other spots, anything like that. Okay, nothing. Well, then decide to go to, what was it, Ford dealership, and just see what they're going to charge me to get it fixed, this and that. But they were very busy. It's going to be a couple while. At this moment, I'm getting ready to go to Mustang Week, so I wanted to get it fixed. So trying to find a body shop that can get it fixed. Okay, nobody can get it fixed. So then I decide to just say hell with it, go to AutoZone and buy the paint, the little paint sticks, like 15 bucks, and then just at least cover it up, and unless you are looking very closely, you wouldn't see it, but just for the average person just taking a glance, they wouldn't notice it. So I use that, get it on, and go on about my business. Well, then as we are heading out to, we get to Myrtle Beach, and then again I go to just a local car wash. Many Mustangs there. Okay, rinse it off, wash it. My wife actually is helping me. I run into the Walmart right behind it, and at that moment we go back to the hotel, and then I go out to kind of detail it a little bit because we didn't spend a lot of times on the wheels there. So that's when I noticed on the front lower right bumper that it was a chip again, but same size, about a nickel size. So I'm like, just what the heck is going on with this car? So I still you know, take whatever blame for it. I still take the blame for it. I'm not saying it's anything to do with Ford, the whatever, craftsmanship, whatever. So anyhow, get on internet, YouTube, and I'm seeing a lot of people posting similar things, and not similar as to nickel size paint chips coming off, but as when I first got the vehicle, or after I got the vehicle, I noticed some of the paneling just didn't seem to line up 100%, and people were talking about that, and people were posting in the comments that it has happened to them, or they have noticed it as well, and they have taken it to Ford, complained about it, this and that. So anyway, mostly the reason I'm making this video is just to see what your guys' thoughts are. Are you guys having this problem? Do you own a S550? And just tell your side of the story, really. And so this isn't to put down Mustang or anything, because this is not going to deter me away from ever buying a Mustang again, or having to get rid of this car. So I mean, at least not yet. So just let me know what your thoughts on it, this and that.
This is my brand new 2015 Mustang GT, and when I purchased the car, there was a problem with the door, where the door would contact the front fender, which damaged the paint. So I took it back to the dealership, and this is how they repaired the paint. Apparently using a paintbrush and some touch-up paint. Again, this car is brand new, it's only a few days old.
First thing I'll talk about is, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera, but right here, the front line of the hood, it actually, let's see, we'll get in front of it. If you notice, it sticks up on this side, then as you get towards the center, starts to even out and line up how it should, and then on the driver's side, it comes back up. That's one of the fitment issues with the hood. Then you can also see a little bit right there above the headlight, right there. It kind of sticks up some, and then also the gap doesn't exactly match up. It's not terrible, but it doesn't line up, and then it seems like this gap's a little bit too big. Another issue is down here, right there. The door is actually sunk in to the point where the fender actually sticks out more. Let's get it from this view. You can see how the fender sticks out a little bit more than it should. Then also, I feel like the whole door itself needs to shift back a little, just a tad bit, for these gaps to line up. My fuel door, that one's not as bad, but down here every now and then it'll start poking out, and I have to actually push at the bottom and almost bend I think that's plastic, but bend it to line up. Then there is this awful gap right here, where it just goes from being how it should to just, it gets larger. Then, I mean, I'm nitpicking a lot of this. I've had the car for a while, so I've been able to find everything, but right here, it doesn't line up too well. Also, the front fender does the same thing. Right here, it's kind of sunk in a little bit more, and it doesn't even line up flush. It sticks out a good bit, actually. Another one which I did point out in my review video is how the trunk panel doesn't line up and how big the gap is on that side, which actually it's not too big of a difference, but it does. It's almost like the whole trunk needs to come just kind of shift this way a tad bit, because this line doesn't line up properly. This needs to come over more right here. Doesn't line up either.
So you all have a good day, and I really appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel. Again, this is for you guys out there, and I will continue to make these videos. So you all have a good day, and I'll see you next time.